Hello and welcome to the Friday Climbing Daily Gear Show. On today's show we're going to have a look at my favourite Arc'teryx clothes. Now they send us clothes for me to wear on the show, which is kind of cool because it means that I get to test them out, use them in a variety of situations and occasionally take them up some big mountains. So I reckon I'm in a pretty good position to tell you guys if it works or not. Now, I'll be honest, this video is not going to be a super techie look at the inner workings of Gore-Tex. What it is going to be is a sort of run through of the clothes I use the most and the stuff that I think is really, really good. So before we get into the individual clothes that I like, let me tell you how Arc'teryx categorize their different clothes. So you'll see a letter or two letters after each item of clothing. So starting off with SL, that stands for super light. So think activities that require a huge amount of energy and you're going to be sweating a lot. This range won't necessarily be super durable if the weather craps out on you, but it will be incredibly lightweight and, well, very breathable. So next up is LT or lightweight. So still think very light gear, but stuff that's like designed a little bit better if the weather craps out and starts raining on you or you scrape it against some rocks. So perfect for a day's cragging or sort of a very short day up in the mountains where the weather looks perfect. Next is FL or fast and light. So think alpine days, big walls or big multi-pitches. Situation where you still need strong clothes but have to move quickly and don't want the extra bulk of something very heavy. Then we have the AR range or all around. So these are clothes that are designed for a multitude of different activities. So cragging or mountaineering or just walking to the pub really. They'll perform well in lots of different situations, although you probably will have to compromise on some features. There really isn't an item of clothing that does everything perfectly. And finally we have SV, which stands for severe conditions. This is the cream of the crop of the Arc'teryx range of clothing in terms of durability, weight, weather protection and just all-round amazingness. That's a word. So let's start with one of the best items of clothing that I've ever been sent to wear and test. This Arc'teryx Alpha SV jacket. So as I said before, SV is severe conditions and this jacket is seriously built for that. So think multi-day alpine climbing or winter climbs, situations where you need your kit to be bomb-proof, durable, but still quite lightweight. It features NP100X Gore-Tex Pro, which basically means that it's just so strong and tough and you can feel that when you touch it. It has all the features that you'd expect on a high-end jacket. A storm hood, adjustable cuffs and waist sections. When I've used this, I have found this quite warm, which is great, but it is still breathable. And if you get super sweaty, you've got these pit zippers underneath, which you can zip open and let all that sweat go free. For me, this is a complete protective shell against the mountains. I feel a bit like the Terminator. I can sort of climb through anything and come out the other side. I've described myself like that before. It is a really expensive piece of kit, like there's no denying that, but it is the best thing I have ever worn. And in some ways, it's arguably actually quite good value. Because if you buy a cheaper jacket that lasts half as long, you're just gonna have to buy something twice. So if you've got the money to invest, check out the Alpha SV jacket. Now we don't sell this one in the EpicTV shop, but what we do have is the FL series, the fast and light. And if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, this might be something better for you. Now this features NP40 3-layer Gore-Tex Pro, which although isn't quite as durable as the bomb-proof SV, it does have a stretchier quality about it, which means that it's easier to move quickly and do those big climbing movements or fit over multiple layers of clothing. So this jacket has been really pared down to make it as light as possible. It's only got one pocket on the front and one inside, but it does have all the features you'd expect. So a helmet compatible hood, a sort of a waist adjustment, cuff adjustments, and it has this system where if you're wearing a harness and you lift your arms up, the jacket doesn't ride all the way up your body. This is only 315 grams and fits into a tiny little bag. So what you could do is just attach it to your harness just in case the weather gets bad during a rock climb or alpine route. Now the elephant in the room is that these are expensive bits of kit, but honestly you cannot buy a good Gore-Tex jacket that isn't expensive that's going to do the job. Now Arc'teryx make all of their products in-house in their factory in Canada and are constantly working on refining and improving their items of clothing for climbers. So for example, on the new FL, they updated the zipper so it's now completely waterproof. They're not just happy about sitting back and selling products, they want it to get better. And for me, that's a really big draw for Arc'teryx kit. Now, as I said before, I am in this really privileged position where I get sent these things to try out. And one thing that always goes in my backpack and that Arc'teryx have allowed me to take up some pretty big mountains is the Cerium LT jacket. Now, it's a down jacket. This is the shiny new model, which is basically the same as the old one, just slightly different colors. And this is the rather battered Cerium LT that I've been using to climb some pretty big things. And as you can see, there's a rather outrageously big duct taped hole here and here. More on that in a bit. Now this has 850 fill power of hydrophobic down, but only weighs 295 grams, which is bonkers. It has a DWS finish on it, so it's going to shrug off rain, although it's probably not the best Scottish winter kind of jacket. It might get a bit soggy at that point. What I like about this is the material on the outside feels like it might be a bit flimsy, but in reality it's actually really strong. And I've rubbed it against quite a lot of granite and it's come out unscathed. Has all the features you'd normally expect, so like hood compatible adjustments and pockets for your hands to warm them up in. Okay, so my jacket. I wore this last year on the Friendo Spur. It was amazing. In fact, I had it outside of my clothes the whole time, which is weird because normally I'd recommend this for a mid-layer, so something underneath your shell. But for this, it was really cold and I had it on the outside for most of the climb. It was all going really, really well until I held a stove that I was trying to warm up slightly too close to my jacket and burnt a huge hole in it. Now this will happen with all jackets if you introduce fire to your down jacket. So yeah, patched it up, still using it, love it to bits, and yeah, it's always in my bag. So the blue model is the newer version, but all that's really changed is the color. And we're selling the older one, this brown one here, on the EpicTV website for only €279, which is really cheap when you consider that the newer one is €400. So if you haven't got one of these jackets or you're looking for a down jacket, this is a bargain. Snap it up quick. I'll put the link for this jacket and all the jackets I've talked about today in the copy below. And I want you guys to get involved. Tell me what you think of Arc'teryx gear. Have you used it? Has it let you down? Is it really good? Tell me by commenting below. And please subscribe along to our videos because it's kind of cool to see the numbers go up. Now, before we go, we talked last week about the Salewa Get Vertical campaign, and this is your final chance to enter it this weekend because the competition closes on the 31st of May. So check out this video, get psyched, and make sure you enter.
That's who you really are. Big fake smile and perfect air. You think you're a pretty star, but likely I've been rescued from wasting your life. I was so smart to tell you, don't call me the next time.
It's really adventurous. If you look at my hands, I have a lot of blood.
A very special experience, very funny people, unbelievable place.
Actually, I had one of the best sports climbing in my life.
It was fantastic. It's a dream, really.
Thank you so much for watching today. And remember, if you haven't got the money for these high-end jackets, then we also sell some pretty nice t-shirts from Arc'teryx, which again, you see me wearing every single day. Thanks for watching. See you soon.